Hello, Ran here, aka Mac, and welcome. So, yesterday the public roadmap was accidentally leaked. This obviously wasn't intentional, and they are still evaluating features for the next releases, meaning that none of the cards or their positions are final until they say so. It's because the software that they use updates the internal roadmap automatically as people work on each feature. So although we are going to run through what we have seen here, do bear in mind that this is not final. However, I'm pretty sure it'll give us a good insight into what we can expect. So for 3.3, in terms of characters, there's only one change to characters that I've not seen before, and it's Clovis Darneely, who is to be a new mission giver, who is a manager for reclamation and disposal, so it could be some sort of salvaging style mission or gathering things and disposing of them as we've already done. There's no change to locations in 3.3. Hurston, its moons and the rest stops are still as they were from last week. For gameplay, there's quite a few changes here. Ship system degradation is at 0 out of 2 tasks complete. This is implementing wear and degradation, causing reduced performance and misfire events in components. This I do like because it'll encourage us to upgrade our components, not only to have better components, but to make sure that old ones are removed and replaced. Scramble race mission, which we saw in ATV, that'll be coming up tomorrow. 6 out of 17 tasks complete there. This is for space and planet-side racing, and racers battle it out to reach randomly spawned checkpoints. It's also weapons free. Now they're improving the retrieval and delivery missions. Currently 2 out of 6 complete there. Delivery and drop-off missions will make more sense regarding the locations you take and gather things from. Plus the delivery missions will use the automated lockers rather than an admin officer. FPS combat missions is also up there, 7 out of 9 tasks complete, allowing players to engage with enemy targets on the ground or in ships to add a bit more of an action element to missions, and I really like that idea. They're bringing in asteroid mining, that's scheduled, no tasks are started yet. Bringing the systems needed for players to extract minerals from free-floating asteroids and from rocks on the surfaces of large asteroids. They're also making improvements to planetary mining. Currently they're at 11 out of 30 tasks complete for that. Just upgrading with improvements to the UI and general functionality. For ping and scanning, they're at 6 out of 22 tasks complete. They're extending the ping and the scan mechanic to much larger distances, differentiating between ping behaviors per signature type, and expanding the information received from scanning vehicles. The transit system is at 7 out of 15. This says improvements to allow players to transfer between various map sections, such as doors, elevators and airlocks, and I do wonder if any of this means transitioning between hangars, using the monorail around Hurston, or anything along those lines. Arena Commander and Star Marine REC rentals, 0 out of 8 tasks complete for this. They're adding the ability to rent ships, items and FPS weapons from the main menu using REC for use in Star Marine and Arena Commander. Only for those areas. This isn't to do with PU renting ships, and we haven't seen anything in regards to renting ships in game, so whether or not that's still coming with 3.3, my fingers are crossed. Group system improvements as well, so that's 9 out of 22 tasks complete. They've implemented new mobiGlas and visor chat systems, features and UI. Improving the manned and remote turrets, this is scheduled. Just further improvements including input controls and feature toggle. No-fly zones are scheduled, so adding no-fly zones to some areas of the persistent universe, they say, for logical reasons and enhanced intrigue. So I assume making missions a little more interesting if you have to land and proceed on foot or in a vehicle rather than just flying to each location every time. But also it may solve the flying into buildings issue around big landing locations. Finally, for gameplay in 3.3, item kiosk shopping improvements, 2 out of 19 tasks complete. Improvements including polishing of item previews, adding comparison tabs, selling and general usability functions. So for AI, they've got ship flight behaviors. This is scheduled. New behaviors including fighter, bomber and gunship types for varied experiences when fighting different enemies. Also, they're going to improve the general pathfinding and collision avoidance and new skills for more challenging battles. They're also improving AI behaviors. This is at 1 out of 7. Developing new and deeper flight behavior characteristics for AI pilots. Movement smoothing is 5 out of 10, so they're halfway through that one. Improving the AI movement animations, making certain actions smoother, like performing large direction changes, going in and out of cover and avoiding other characters. They've got first reactions, which is 6 out of 11, so behaviors for first reactions to different events like hearing footsteps or hearing grenades or gunfire. Search behaviours which follow on from first reactions. This is scheduled, making the AI search contextually relevant to different events like hearing the shots. Plus search behaviours for different alert levels like mildly suspicious or in combat. Now for me, AI is highly important if 90% of the people we are going to see in the verse will be AI. Having such strong behaviours or characters is very important to ensure that they blend in and don't stand out as clearly AI, so I'm looking forward to seeing the results of this. We haven't really seen much yet. There's no new ships added or old ships taken away, but there are some changes. The Hammerhead last week was at 21 out of 111 tasks. This week it's at 40 out of 112. The Constellation Phoenix last week was at 12 out of 73, and that's now at 17 out of 73. There are no changes to weapons and items. Now for core tech, the good news is object container streaming and bind culling is staying put. That's not going anywhere. That's still coming with 3.3. For the object container streaming, the code conversion remains the same at 41 out of 52. The game object extensions conversion is at 17 out of 19. Asynchronous background spawning is at 32 out of 39, and general background spawning is at 154 out of 198. So they are making superb progress on this object container streaming. Not long to go, but I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty of testing going on with that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little rough out of the gate, so we'll see how that comes along. They're also doing a weapon system refactor for 3.3. This is at 3 out of 6 tasks complete, and this is just general overhaul to fine-tune and improve various components of the current weapon system. So for 3.4, now there's no change to characters, locations, ships or vehicles, nor weapons and items in 3.4. Although we have seen some cool work done on the 300 series, which we'll be checking out tomorrow on Star Citizen Sunday. That's all we've really got there. For gameplay, the service, beacon improvements and escorting missions for interdicting have been pushed to 3.4. I think these were in 3.3. This will also introduce salvage missions into the array of missions that players can undertake, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure to what level. It might be the handheld pyro lancer thing. For AI, the FPS combat for stealth, which isn't to allow AI to stealth around, it's to allow players to approach an encounter using stealth tactics and then allow the NPCs to react appropriately, so that's quite fun. AI flight, quantum and strafing, so allowing AI pilots to use quantum navigation and use the basic scanning mechanic to detect stealth ships should be coming in then as well, and that's another interesting feature for AI. So for core tech for 3.4, parallel network jobs which are scheduled. This allows them to increase the player count per server, and lobby refactor, which is at 1 out of 7. Closely aligned to server meshing, and it won't be too noticeable until server meshing is in, but this will allow them to connect multiple servers and clients to the same game session. So important to get server meshing in, but it won't really have any effect until that is in. So 3.5, now it has updated a little, but most of what was expected in either 3.3 or 3.4 has been pushed back to 3.5 and 3.6. This is most likely due to the focus on object container streaming and Hurston, of which I agree is the best way to do it. We know how important object container streaming is for the future of Star Citizen, so I'm happy if that's in and everything else gets pushed back. I'll be okay with that. So for gameplay in 3.5, the fuel transfer, fuel collection, the buying and selling of fuel, repairing ships, manual repair, selling, processing, extracting and scanning for salvage, these are all slated now for 3.5. For ships, it's still the Banu Defender and the 890 Jump, which we have seen in recent ATVs. The weapons in 3.5 include the Gemini S71 Assault Rifle, that's at 4 out of 30. The GT870 Tarantula revision is at 2 out of 23. The Caslack Arms Coda handgun is at 1 out of 26. And the Caslack Arms Firestorm, which is your microwave cannon, is at 1 out of 30. So for 3.6, this is the new tab for the roadmap. We've been waiting a while for this. But locations like the Comaray revision and refineries are pushed back to 3.6. I believe they were in 3.5. For gameplay, the land claim features like purchasing, registering, creating missions and all the legalities associated, the repair bot, the service beacon for refueling and repairing, data running and the expanded cargo and liquid and gas exploration, these are all now set for 3.6, along with long-range scanning. I think they were 3.5, a lot of them as well. The FPS and flight combat AI styles, both for 3.6. This is how the AI will approach combat in different ways, depending on their personalities and skill levels. For weapons and items, the Maxox Neutron Repeaters and Clausen Werner Lumin 5 submachine gun are both scheduled for 3.6. And in core tech, server meshing, this is when the first iteration is destined to arrive. When operational, players and entities should experience seamless transition between servers during quantum travel. So that's very important. But also with core tech in 3.6 is the cloud tech, which I believe was 3.3, was that? Or was that 3.4? I can't remember. So this was a bit of a long one, I apologise. But we do have some idea of what's coming in 3.6. Obviously, it looks as though most of the things have just been pushed back, which I must say I did kind of expect. Maybe not to this extent, but I'm not too bothered. As long as they bring object container streaming and HERS into 3.3, I will be super happy. Everything else to me is just by the by. The benefit is that we still get a good update every quarter, so the game won't feel stale for too long. I'm happy with the progress, but I would like to see the purchasing or renting of ships in the PU on the roadmap, if not 3.3 or even in 3.3. That would be nice to see. Do remember though that this was leaked. This is not the final version they wanted to release, so maybe they'll wait till next week to update it to the standard that they want it to be. But this is the current idea as to where they are with things. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe. Follow me over on Twitch as well. We always have fun playing the game, and I shall see you next time.